Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and as promised, here's a little breakout session on Pillar 2 money making, so the productization and commercialization of your existing services. As you recall, I defined my strategic path through 3 different pillars. Pillar 1 was short-term cash, short-term money that I need right now, and mostly that is me exchanging my time for money. Pillar 2 is the one where I commercialize services and products, where I productize things that we already do into something new. I package them and I start selling them, and I get a share of the money that I make for others in that way. And that will then also be recurring or even passive income in many cases. And then the third pillar, of course, is buying new companies to add to my existing portfolio of companies. But to that one, I'll do a breakout later. That's a whole different topic. But I promised you a little breakout on how I think about commercializing services and how I think about productization. And where I start, what a starting point is for me when I go into any new company and look at this, right? My next video in the next couple of days or so will be on the progress that I've made in the first 2 weeks and how we're doing in terms of the overall project plan out of our 300 days. But I'll leave that to one side for now. So here's what I've been doing in terms of my Pillar 2 activities. So I went to HCI York, my software company, and basically the first thing I did was I looked at what we've been doing for a long time, right? So here's a typical mistake that companies and individuals make when they try to describe their products or their services. They don't start with anything specific because they're really worried that they're going to leave something out. This is a typical problem for consultancies, right? You don't want to say that you're the world's best project management consultancy because you're aware of the fact that most of your people can do a variety of things, and you don't want people to think that that's the only thing you can do. Now, the problem with that is that no one goes on Google and searches for a consultancy that could do anything or a person who's good at many things, right? So even when you introduce yourself at, say, a networking event or a party, if you pitch your company, you pitch yourself by saying, well, we do lots of things, sends a bad message, right? If you go in and say, we've built this tool and the tool does everything, forget about the other 17 tools that you've got, our tool covers it all. It's not really a great message. It's not specific enough to get anyone talking, right? You go in and you say like, well, we do a bit of everything. Well, that sounds like you're not very good at anything, right? So for example, a much better angle is that you go in and you're very specific about the one thing that you do really well. So at HCI, for instance, if I go in and people, and I'm there for the software company, people ask me what you do, and I say, well, we build software that never breaks. And then when I've piqued people's interest with that very short pitch, people start asking questions like, oh, tell me more, what kind of software? Then I can start talking about the different things that we do. But we want too much and we say too little when we go in and we give you one of those, what we think is a great catchphrase that says things like, we are an integrated service portfolio provider that takes a holistic approach to your services. It means nothing to anyone. So how do I approach finding what we can productize or we could turn into a standardized service within a company when I start out? So a lot of the time, small to medium-sized companies have been doing a lot of good things over the years, and you'll actually find recurring themes. So for instance, I looked at what kind of customers we do the most business with, and I found that over the years, over the last 20 years actually, we've been working a lot with housing associations. In fact, to a degree that we are real experts at how housing associations work, what they need, what kind of software they need, what kind of data architecture they usually need, what kind of problems they're solving. And so it's easy for me to say we are actually a preferred supplier to housing associations. We solve most of their problems and we have the expertise to go after any problems that they're solving for the first time. And so one thing that I wrote down was, well, we are really good at helping housing associations. And then I've looked at the things that we've done for them, and there are 5 recurring services, 5 things that we've done for them many times, like for instance, compliance software, right? And so I cut that down into sort of 5 different products that we've done time and time again, where people have lots of experience, and I started writing them down, saying like, well, we've got compliance software, we've got the kind of websites you need, we've got CMS that you need, and we've got the kind of data architecture that all you guys need. And we've just simply packaged that. We've just described something that we already do, right? Now note the specificity of this, right? So I've specifically homed in on housing associations. Someone creative will say, well, look, but this is also applicable to machine builders and automotive. And I'm like, yes, but no one's looking for a jack of all trades. Everyone's looking for an expert. So I have to start with the expertise. That's where I need to start, okay? Then the second thing I found out was that we've actually built quite a number of ERPs in manufacturing, right? So basically, and we've actually got a fantastic track record. We've built an ERP where our global customer now says, well, it's better than SAP, right? So they've gone and said, well, you know, one of the big ones, one of the big 3 ERP systems, we actually like yours better. It's tailored, it's quicker, it's slicker. We do that. So what we actually do and have done for a long time is ERP systems. We just haven't written that down anywhere specifically. And was especially good at doing ERP systems in a manufacturing environment. So the second part of that productization is to define it as ERP systems for manufacturers, right? That's a product, right? Housing association with the 5 different software types that we do for them, those are products. ERP system for manufacturers, that's a product. And then the final one, and it's sort of built out of the housing association experience that we have, but there's a lot of companies that need, and public sector organizations that need compliance software. And we're very, very good at building compliance software, only we don't say that we build compliance software. Up to this point, we say we build any software that you might need. We can do anything, which means the same as nothing, right? No one Googles, get me the guy who can build any software. Not really. You need to have an in. And then when you're in and you've built one type of software for a client, they have other needs. They'll be like, oh, I don't suppose you also do this. And then we'll be like, yeah, we do. Especially for you, we can, because we have the context, we understand your organization, we've been on the inside for a while now. So we can do this quite quickly. Okay, well, what you can't sell is everything at once. It just doesn't work. Now, compliance software, and within compliance, of course, I looked at what the most typical things are that compliance software or the compliance software types covers, and we've turned those into modules. And voila, again, we have a number of products. This will probably raise a lot of questions. Some of you will want that I'm more specific, but again, no one watches 50-minute videos. So I'll leave it at this. Please ask me more specific questions in the comments, and as always, please like and subscribe. It really helps me. It's part of my 300-day project to get the subscriber number up to something where I can really hopefully make a difference, and hopefully you actually like my videos. If you don't, let me know and tell me what I can change. So I've already changed a few things thanks to your feedback, and it's always very welcome. Other than that, have a fantastic week, and after that, a great weekend when it starts. Hery out. See you.